Yo, what up guys? Today we're watching Chovy Yone, and we're actually seeing some Yone in the pro meta currently because of Sejuani, Maokai, these AP junglers, sometimes even Elise still being around, and Yone is actually a pretty nice fit when it comes to a pairing with these junglers. So it's always a pleasure watching Chovy on Yone because of how good he is in the lane and what advantages that he can get over his lane opponents. I'm curious to see how this game is going to play out. As we saw, he got the ward experience on level 1. That means that he will reach level 2 before this Ahri, and he can maybe use this to get a nice tricky trade onto her. What we can see right now is Chovy, of course, taking the Doran Shield second wind setup into the Ahri, which is pretty good. That's exactly what we need to make sure that Ahri cannot bully us early. Ahri Yone is always a pretty interesting matchup because it's a bit of a neutralizing matchup from both sides. Ahri cannot really punish the Yone, but Yone cannot really kill the Ahri because Ahri has her charm and Yone's engage is pretty straightforward, so she can always charm the Yone when he tries to go in, but she doesn't have the damage to like actually bully the Yone, and that makes it a bit of a handshake matchup, which in the end will favor the Ahri because the Ahri can then impact the skirmishes and other parts of the map without Yone being able to respond to that. So what we can see right now is that Chovy kind of keeps the wave in the middle and he actually starts pushing into the Ahri, which is an interesting decision. It's a decision that you can go for, pushing on Yone. I'm personally not the biggest fan because Ahri can always just hold the wave and then we're just in a very, very awkward position. That's kind of what she does. We do get a nice little ward out. And Ahri kind of mispositions here, so we get a pretty decent trade going. But as we can see right now, Wave is in a pretty awkward position. We have to use our potion pretty early. But Ahri is now actually pushing it. So let's actually think about this. So why would Ahri, instead of slow building this wave, hard push it back into the Yone? Because now the wave gets in a better position for Chovy. And right now, in this position, Ahri is actually in a lot of trouble. And she even gets ganked. So let's break this down a little bit. So I think that this position of the wave is actually quite good for Ahri. Ahri knows where her jungler is, right? Elise is somewhere around bot side here. Maybe she expected Elise to go for a bot dive and wanted to have the prio to possibly roam. But it doesn't make sense, because Yone is not really a champion that can go and defend that real early. But I think that's the only reason, because why otherwise would you hard push this wave and queue this? Because this was like a perfect slow build. She could have stacked like 2 or 3 waves, and then it's very hard for Yone to hold the wave. And not only that, but then when Elise comes, the wave is not on his side already, but it's still somewhat in the middle, / still somewhat on the Ahri side. So a few questionable plays when it comes to wave management from both parts here. They probably have their reasoning for it. Maybe Ahri wants to... Yeah, I think it's the Scuttle then. It has to be the Scuttle. I would personally not let the Scuttle or dive like that impact my own wave management at this stage of the game. I would still always aim to play for my own lane. But apparently there is a skirmish happening in the bot side. And there is 1 kill that went to the team of Chovy. And now I can see more why Ahri actually shoved the wave. Because this actually made sure that her team did have her as backup in case something went wrong. Like, Korea is a bit more explosive server than EU West. I'm of course a fellow EU West enjoyer. And it seems that it worked. It kind of worked out in this case. Even though she gave up some lane pressure and some possibility to kill Yone in the lane herself. So Chovy now shoves the waves, and instead of basing, he actually opts in to get this Scuttle, which is fine because we still have the insane health regen that we have on the Yi Shield and second wind. So we can now just catch this wave as well, and now we have a slight lead over the Ahri. We also have TP, so the timing where we reset is actually pretty whatever. We can just get a free pass out of jail, so to say, and get back into lane ASAP to get all the XP and gold that we needed. So we see a nice Berserker space from Yone and Lucidity Space from Ahri. Power level, about the same. But Yone should have a bit more agency in the lane right now. And let's see if he actually tries to get the wave on the side and look for these trades. Good attempt by Chovy. Okay, we definitely want to have the wave a bit neutral right now because our team is taking the Mountain Dragon. Pretty decent trade here. Doesn't really matter that we get hit by the charm. We have way more regen. And we decide to hard push this wave. There's a lot of hard pushing going on. I can see why, because there's a lot of skirmishing in the bot side. And he definitely wants to avoid the Ahri to roam there. Okay, blue team actually wins the skirmish. Genius play this actually. It's really good. Big trade. So Ahri is under a lot of threat right now. And if I would be the Yone right now, my mindset would be to actually let the wave come to me. But as we can see here in Korea, they play completely different. Even when there's not even a single bit of threat of a possible skirmish coming around. He still decides to actually not let the wave come into him. But we see... Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so let's break this down. So, with the coming of this wave right here, what we can see, wave is slightly on Ahri's side. It is slow building back into us. With this health advantage that we have, and with the fact that we still have ultimate and we have a lot of kill threat onto this Ahri, I would always let the wave come back into me. I was checking the map right now, but there's no single bit of threat of a skirmish. The only threat that there is us getting ganked by the enemies or Pantheon ulting onto mid. So there's no reason to push this in my opinion. And just let the wave get back to on our side, hold it right here, slight minion lead on the enemies, and then we can just all in, just ult the Ahri plain on plain side, just take trades on her so she has to trade ultimates, and we can then force her onto a bad reset. Or kill her, depending on what she does. So it's a bit interesting that he actually decides to go for the push here, especially since we're getting ganked as well, which is indeed what's going to happen. And I think he kind of outplayed the trash here. He got hooked, he eat, he flashed, and that's a genius kill actually. But that's complete luck, by the way. It's complete luck. So yeah, pretty well played by Chovy. They get a hook onto the Ahri, and it's just a fiesta right now. So yeah, actually very good skirmishing from Chovy right here, and this nets us a massive lead in lane, but I don't fully agree with the wave management being done here. So let's see, now we got this massive lead, if he changes something up here. We have the Ahri slow building back into us. Yep, it's still slow building back into us. Let's see how we play this wave here. We decide to hard shove again. Okay. So let's break this one down. This one is a bit controversial once again. The only reason why I would be hard shoving this wave myself is to actually cover for a possible bot skirmish. Right, we saw Sejuani looking to gank bot lane. We don't know where Elise is. If Elise is bot, we want to be the first one to move. And that would be a reason for me to actually hard shove this wave, just hover bot side in the river, and that means that if a skirmish breaks out with the enemy jungle, we are there sooner and we can adapt sooner to the fight. But he uses tempo to get a nice deep ward. This is a very, very good deep ward on Yone. The way I like to use this usually is by using my E and then actually jumping back, so we have a bit more tempo and time in the lane. Spot out the Elise. She spots out the ward as well, and we once again see that we don't really try to kill this Ahri, but rather just push her in. And in this case, I understand, we're playing for the Herald right here, so pushing here is good. Should basically secure as a free herald. Let's go back a little bit. Decent little trade from Chovy right here. Elise secures the herald. And we sadly do not get the kill. Okay, so massive downtime on the map right now. Dragon is not even up in a minute. Ahri is low on resources. Let's shove this wave. Let's either shove this wave or keep this wave on our side. As long as we deny Ahri as much XP and gold as we can. So we grab the raptors in the meantime. We get a nice slight lead here. Let's see, did Ahri TP? Oh, she actually has teleport up. Okay. Then I think this play is actually really good by Chovy. Grabbing the enemy raptors, denying enemy jungle some XP, and getting a nice XP gold lead for ourselves right here. And we're just completely happy staying in lane because of the amount of sustain that we have. So we got Dragon in a minute. Let's see what he does here. Okay, pretty interesting play here. And we get ganked. Yeah, he's like hard shoving again. And that kind of exposes us to stuff like this. And I think the enemies have been very mild to us this game. Like we've been playing the game on easy mode. Elise hasn't really targeted us. So yeah, this is actually the first time that we get somewhat punished. And it should have happened way sooner, in my opinion, because I think our wave management this game has been suboptimal. I think some waves shoving is good and understandable why he does it, but some waves it's better to just hold it on our side. Little skirmish on bot lane, we get the resets on Jinx, we get 2 kills, and this should secure us a dragon. We hard shove for the dragon, that's completely fine. We get some deep vision. We eat a charm from Ahri. Still hard shoving, that's okay. And now once again, I would say, yeah, it's a bit tough in this situation because we're getting low. But I like this play a lot. Yep, this was a really good play. So, as I said, right, when we're playing against Ahri, just ult her. That's completely fine. Then she has to use her ultimate ability as well. And when we trade ultimates, it's worth for us because Ahri cannot function without her ultimate. She cannot roam without her ultimate. So if we trade ults like this, we're in a very good spot. So I'm very happy that he went for this play. And he starts hard shopping. It's crazy, man. These Koreans, it's crazy. And we die again. Surprise. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, like it's just we just expose ourselves like that. It's a downside of hard pushing. We die once again. Our team is thankfully here to carry us, and we get some more resets on the Jinx. And from this point, Jinx is actually completely out of control, and it's basically game over. And the review right here. So what are the things that we saw and what we learned in this VOD? Well, first of all, I think there was a lot to gain when it comes to wave management from Chovy. I think it's okay to push waves because it does put pressure on the map. We do get tempo and we do get first move. But the downside is that we do get ganked like this. We die. We do not really have kill threat onto the enemy laner. So I think a nice balance between the two would be way better. And hence is why reviewing stuff like this and always asking yourself the question why with every wave state, why am I pushing this one, why am I holding this one, is extremely important. Because I think in this game it could have been a bit more nuanced. It was a bit straightforward, like he was just playing on autopilot, just shoving. And I do think that his skirmishing was good. He showed a few nice Yone fundamentals with the ward, getting the enemy raptors, trading the ults with Ahri. So there was definitely some good stuff, but I think the main improvement from this VOD was the wave management. Let's be honest here, you just got carried by his bot lane and his jungler, and yeah, those games also happen, right? Those games also happen. So I thank you all for watching. I'm gonna do some more reviews, and I also got how to beat Taliyah video coming up this week. So I see you guys around this week. See you later, boys. Bye bye.